back from the conference now, so I'm going to put a little bit of a video on. So we had a downhill skier as after the speaker last night, so there's a few snippets from her, and then also the speakers from today, and also Rebecca, that was a really good speaker yesterday, was also here today. So I'll put a little bit from her on, and then she's going to have a link underneath as well to her YouTube channel.
That you had, but that will highlight how great you really can be. What we have to go through when it comes to facing adversity, the adaptations, the pivots, the changes, it is a gift, because we often set the foundations to be able to, not just to survive, but to thrive. And without diversity, we'd never have a cause to change.
So Shemi's a downhill skier, and she crashed really badly. She crashed that hard that her bones came out the side of her ski boot. Anyway, this is the big crash that she had. Pretty amazing story. She was in 4 different Olympics. So anyway, she got a huge round of applause, and here it is. But read the slide. So the next guy, Brad Waldron, he was on this morning. He was really good, and he was telling us about how one of the hospitals near London was struggling with the gap between sort of the ambulances arriving and the children getting into the accident emergency or the crash team, and they were having more deaths than they should have had. So they got a Formula 1 pit team to look at how they could improve what happened when the ambulances arrived. Anyway, they've managed to reduce the mortality rate in that sort of short bit between the ambulance and the crash team. So it's interesting. Other businesses looking at other businesses or other industries or other professions to see how they can improve it all the time. And that's what the whole basis of this last 2 days of this conference was all about. It was about where you can improve businesses and yourself to make things more efficient.
But the difference between winners and people that don't win in their own life is how they respond to the junctions at every flow. And your speed of response is paramount. So when you look at our leadership, you've got to embrace the good and the part that you weren't anticipating. Anyone ever had one of those days where you get home and they go, "Hey, how was your day today?" And you go, "Oh man, I'm busy all day, but I've got nothing to show for it." Anyone had one of those? That's a map right there, which is being in the thick of thin things.
Still at the Agri-leader conference. This is Rebecca. She is a mindset coach, and I'm going to get her in 30 seconds to try and sum up what she did yesterday in an hour and a half. So go.
All right. So we talked a lot about clarity and about understanding how curiosity can bring immense amounts of clarity to your life when it comes to decluttering your mind to free up your path, right? So about bringing things forward, and also recognizing that anytime that you want to innovate, you have to have the space to do it, and then you have to allow yourself to bring in the clarity through curiosity.
And that's why a spacebar on a keyboard is the biggest key.
Amen.
So if you want to know any more, I'll put a link to one of the videos below, and then you can find her on YouTube.
Cheers.
So this is Amy's leaving party, but really it's the Agri-leader call.
I need to stop saying that, don't I? People will think I'm very narcissistic.
So you're leaving AHDB, where are you going to go to?
So I'm going to go and be Inclusivity Programme Manager for RGD.
Sounds really boring. So why is AHDB important?
Because it does valuable work for levy payers, like today, and a lot of people have said they've taken a lot from me. Isn't that right, Martin?
Yeah, I'll have to explain that later. There's Martin here anyway, the legend.
Oh yeah, again, the waving farmer. You all right?
Everyone else is trying to do. And sometimes when I'm working with people, working with my customers, working with whatever my tools of trade are, I've got to stop and think, is there a better way?
Another take-home message from the event was, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. So here's Zach now basically closing speech, and he says something in South African.
For your journey, whether that be your partners, your family, maybe somebody you've met here, get together, because together you'll walk far, but you'll also walk well. You'll walk contented. The journey will be worthwhile. Amba Masambeni, Amba Kamandla. Thank you very much.
It was good. It was really good, actually.
Bit of a building fail there. When the door opens, it hits that and it's made the plasterboard off. Random. So we just finished at the Agri-leader forum. I forgot the name of it. So now what do we do?
Go on. There we go.
It's a big part centre that. I thought it didn't break down. Another one. I'll have to put the thing along the bottom. Amateur camera footage. The big them buildings, aren't they?
It's a big shed, isn't it? Imagine how many cows you can fit in it.
How many combines you can fit in it? Or tractors. While I've been away, my mum has found these photos, so hold on. So we got the 990 there on the potato harvester. We got the old Laverda combine and me. Looking like I need a haircut. There, I've obviously had a haircut. We're fixing the 10-foot header, the massive 10-foot header. The fertiliser spreader in the background, an old Vicon wagtail, as my dad. And we've got an old Clayton combine, well I'm too young to remember that. And then it was the first Merlot we had with my gran, my Uncle Bob, I think that's my sister, Caroline. But yeah, that was the first Merlot we had, a 28.7. That beastie combine. Quickly do the birthday bumper, quite a few again today. James Parker, Louise Collins, Andrew Hewitt, Stuart Blythe, Lone, Chris Haynes, Paris said happy birthday, Paul Stanley, Ian Nobbs, and good luck Johnny Allen, who's getting a new kidney hopefully today. So good luck for you, and also happy birthday to all the rest of you. Just looking at the flood, it's still there, receded a little bit, but it feels like the pumps aren't working because it hasn't rained since Sunday. What day is today? Now Wednesday. But I can see it. I can see them bubbling in the ditch there, so I don't know what's going on. They must just have completely lost any sort of efficiency that they had. That's where they're pumping out there now. It seems to be two streams as well, like one sort of there and one sort of there maybe. So you know, they just must be worn out, I think. Which isn't good. Sam's been collecting some chippings. I think Adam's chipped them today from a tree that's blown over. And it's, you can't see, can you? It's too much to climb up. Anyway, it's a pine tree in the yard now, smells lovely. Realised it was the combine's birthday last Friday, so technically it'd have been Saturday by the date, but it arrived on a Friday, so it's been here a year, and that's not quite because that came just before harvest. So happy birthday. Should have got a cake. Also been thinking, because this is the cheapest and quickest refurb, that is the tractor that we start with first, because the 1200 over there, that's going to take some doing and it'll take a bit of cash, whereas this, a little bit of labour, mostly paint. So I think we'll get that in first, get that done, one out of the way, and then we know what we're aiming for with the others then. The other thing is, if we wheel that 1690 in this corner of the workshop, it won't take up anywhere near as much room as the 936 did. So we can kind of live happily in the background for a couple of weeks while we do it up. But hopefully it'll be quite a quick turnaround. So Robin's starting on Monday, so we'll get it in then. And in between other maintenance and servicing jobs, every time he's got a bit of spare time, he can do a little bit on it. But I think probably what we'll do is take the cab off. The sand we got the other week is now drying out quite nicely in the air tunnel, so we're going to try that as well through the jet wash. That is about it for today. Really interesting sort of yesterday afternoon and this morning at the AHDB leader sort of course, conference, whatever you want to call it. The AHDB has such a lot of resource for farmers, but if we don't watch, we might lose it. So we need to vote for it at the end of the month, but also then vote the direction we want it to go. But also when they do put resources out, go to them, collect them, you know, whether it be the RB209 stuff about fertiliser that they publish each year, or the recommended list, or attend the events that they put on, because you can learn a lot and save money and develop your business better. But we just need to make sure that we keep it, because we don't really want to lose it. I know it has a cost, but it's value for money if you use it properly. So bit of a little lecture there, trying to upsell the old AHDB there. They're not paying me, honest, but they did give me tea last night, so I don't know, does that count? So thanks for watching today. Bit of a random couple of days. Good to see some people I've not seen for ages, because obviously with COVID we've not really had many conferences. Those that don't know, sorry, I should have explained this. AHDB stands for Agricultural Horticultural Development Board. So they basically do lots of research and provide sort of advertising as well, I suppose, for UK agriculture. Does anyone have anything like that in their countries that they're watching that might not be in the UK? And those that are in the UK, do you know exactly how much the AHDB do? I'd like to know if you want to leave a comment below of your thoughts on the AHDB. Anyway, that really is it all for today. I will see you tomorrow. Thank you.